Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome to my end of the year book wrap up. Today is going to be a little different for me. I wanted to share some news. A lot of you guys have been asking, well, first of all, let me just say this. If you're just here for the books, I'll put a timestamp down below. We're going to do all my yes, no, maybe wrap up throughout the year. All the books that I read in the last 12 months. I read the most I've ever read in my life. I've always been a reading fan, but oh my gosh, I just devoured books this year. So I have a lot of great books to share. And yeah, we're just gonna make it a simple yes, no, maybe. So if you're here just for the books, you can skip to this timestamp down below. But those of you that have been here for a while may have known that I shared an update at the beginning of the year that my mom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer 2 years ago in January of, 20, it would have been 2023. And unfortunately, she lost her battle at the beginning of December. And it has been a really tough month and still does not even feel real. And I wasn't sure if I was going to share this on here, but it just feels odd to get on social media and just to smile and act like everything's okay. The best word for it, you just feel fake doing that. So I totally understand why content creators jump on here and share tragic life events. I get it. And you know what? I do feel like it is therapeutic. I've always been a person that if I'm going through something, I'm going to talk about it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because again, it just feels really weird just jumping on here and going about my business like everything's fine. And not to say that, I'm not fine, but I thought I would be crying about my mom every single day. I just did not even think, especially at the beginning when we got her diagnosis, I didn't even know. I just thought to myself, how am I going to be around my kids and not cry all the time? How am I going to go to work and take care of patients and not, and how am I going to have empathy towards these families when I'm going through something, on my own? And it's just like, you just think about all the things, but somehow it is amazing how I don't know if it's like a fight or flight response or what it is, but I'm getting through it. I have the times of the day that are hard for me are the mornings, sometimes in the middle of the day when I'm used to, I want to share something with her, or call her, especially at night. I would always call her driving home from work, or before bed just to talk to her and to see how she's doing. And so nights are really hard. But we're getting by, we're getting through it. It's really hard. It's hard to be strong in front of the kids, but at the same time, I know my mom would not want me to be moping around the house and being upset all the time. I know she wouldn't. And she didn't live her life like that. Even with her diagnosis, she was so positive and determined, never complained. When I tell you, she would play with the kids, and meanwhile, she was probably in so much pain, but she would power through it and with a smile on her face. Like, that is the kind of person she was. And I am really trying. I can only hope that I am just a tiny bit like her. And yeah, I don't want to be sad about it. And I shared this on my TikTok, just about a friend that gave me some really good advice. It was at her services. He grabbed me by the shoulders, and he actually went through a loss. He lost both of his parents. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to get through this? And he's like, you know what, Lauren? He's looking in my eyes and he's holding on to me, and he's like, you take one day at a time, and know that it's okay to not be okay, but also know that it's okay to be okay. And you have to just live your life, try to get by with a smile on your face. You're going to have days where you are happy and you almost feel guilty for that. And that is the best advice I got, like, because it's so true. Like, there's moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not want to be enjoying this cupcake right now. Like, I feel guilty enjoying, a dessert, or just laughing about something my husband said, or, laughing about a stupid reel on Instagram. But I know my mom wouldn't want me to be moping and sad, and she would want me to be happy and be there for my kids. The social worker in the hospital when my mom was put on hospice, she gave me also great advice. She said, you know what, you have to just be present for your kids, but at the same time, you cannot be hiding your emotions, because they have to know that it's okay to cry and to be sad. So, I'm trying to not hide my emotions and to talk about how I'm feeling. But it's hard because you don't want them to see you sad all the time. It's just hard to find that middle ground. But yeah, we're getting by, and I think I'm at peace knowing that she's at peace and that she's not suffering anymore. I keep saying to everybody, I'm like so thankful that it didn't get so far along to where she really did suffer, because again, we got two really great years with her where she was able to play with the kids and be present and to travel with us. And her diagnosis really, that's my son in the background, but her diagnosis really didn't stop her from doing anything. And I'm so thankful we got 2 great years with her. Of course, I wish there could be more years in the future. Just her freaking diagnosis sucks. But yeah, I know she wouldn't want us to constantly be sad. Even with her diagnosis, she would always say, don't worry about me. Don't worry about it. I have a feeling I'll be around for a while. Like she just, and I don't know if she thought that, or in a way, I think she knew deep inside, but I think she was just trying to be positive for us. So yeah, I know she would want me to continue to live my life and to be happy. So I'm choosing to be happy. I really truly believe that you have to choose happiness. So I'm trying to wake up every morning and try to put a smile on my face and yeah, just try to live my life. But if you've been through this, I understand how you're feeling. It is just, it's the most impossible grief ever. But I know everybody's been telling me like it does get easier. It's hard to see that now, but it will. And I'm already, it's been a few weeks now and I'm already not feeling, even going back to that guilt thing, it's like almost like I feel guilty saying that I feel better. It's not that I feel better, but I'm not thinking about it every waking minute. I'm just I don't know. I'm just trying to live my life and be present but freaking cancer freaking sucks. It sucks. And she did everything right. She was healthy, never smoked, barely drank. It's not fair. And she was just the best person ever. It's just not fair. But yeah, so here we are. But I wanted to share that with you guys because I know a couple people have been asking me if there was any updates. So thank you for asking and thanks for being there. And I would love to hear your stories down below. And if you've dealt with anything like this, how you got through it, especially with kids too. I want to keep her memory here. I want to continue to talk about her and to keep her memory alive. And she had such a great relationship with my kids. I know they will never forget her. My kids are 4, 6, and 9. And so I know they're at the perfect ages to have, they had such a fun relationship with their mom, and I'm so grateful for that. And, but yeah, I don't want to make them sad all the time by talking about her, but at the same time, want to keep her memory alive. So any tips you can share with, talking about, loss with kids, that would be helpful too. Talking about anything always helps me cope, but also distraction techniques, hobbies, like reading. I mean, I can't even tell you, I am so amazed the amount of books I've read since she was diagnosed. And even books about grief that I never even thought I'd be able to physically deal with reading these books, but somehow they helped. These inspirational words really, really helped me. And I'm so grateful for books and reading. It's so cheesy to say that I feel like reading has saved me, but I really, more so than going to any therapist, reading there's something so therapeutic about it. So with that said, let's go ahead and transition into our books for the year. For January, I read 5 books. The first book I read for the month of January was The Measure by Nikki Erlach, and I would say a yes on this. I really love this book. And the next one, The Paradise Problem. I don't have a physical copy of that. This is by Christina Lauren. Love this book. I thought it was so funny. So yes on that. Next one, Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. No, I do not see the hype behind this. I did not think this was worth a read. Next, Sally Hepworth, The Younger Wife. I think Sally Hepworth is one of the most underrated authors. I really enjoyed this book. I think I gave it a 4-star. Definitely worth a read. And then I ended January on a great note. The Women by Kristen Hanna. One of my most favorite books, an absolute must read. Loved it, yes. Okay, now we're getting into the month of February. First book I read was Don't Let Her Stay by Nicola Sanders. No on this. Next up, Emily Henry's Funny Story. Yes, love that book. Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. I love Alice Feeney, but this one fell a little flat for me. I would say no. Ashley Audrain, The Push. Holy crap, was this dark? But yes, this was really suspenseful. Rachel Hawkins' The Villa, yes, this was really fun. It was a little different, but I liked it. Lisa Scottaloni, I think is how you pronounce her name. What Happened to the Bennetts? Really fun, fast-paced thriller. Page Turner, so yes. And then Kristen Hanna's The Four Winds. Yes, absolute yes, one of my favorite books by her. And then Emily Giffin, The Summer Pact. This one really surprised me. I love this. It starts off kind of dark, but I really enjoyed it. Leanne Moriarty, Big Little Lies. Yes. And then I read 2 Ali Hazelwoods in March. The first one I read was Not in Love. I think this is one of her most underrated books. I love Not in Love, so yes. And then Love Theoretically, also yes for me. And then next up, All the Light We Cannot See. This is by Anthony Doerr. So this is tough for me. I'm gonna say yes, but I gave this a 2 stars on Goodreads, and I think it was just because of the entertainment value. I was a little bored. There's 2 point of views in this, and I love the one point of view of the younger girl. I felt myself really invested in that story, but every time it switched to the boy, I couldn't get into it. So unfortunately, I gave this a 2 star, but I think it's a good historical read. It highlighted a part of World War II that I wasn't familiar with, so I learned a lot from it, but yeah, it was definitely dry, so just keep that in mind, but you will learn a lot. If you like historical fiction, I do think it's worth the read. Favorite book of the month, Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. Love this, so heartwarming, yes. The Last Mrs. Parrish, yes, great suspense. Funny You Should Ask. This is by Elisa Sossman. I thought this was so cute. Yes, real fun rom-com, especially if you're like into the LA culture. Yes, loved it. The Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. I'm gonna say no on this. I know a lot of people love this, but I found it very difficult to read at times. Oh, there was just some really tough scenes. So I just did not love it, I will say. So yeah, I'm gonna say no, but I know a lot of people love that one. Wedding People by Alison Espach. Yes, love this. Starts off very, what's the word? Surprising. You're kind of like, what's happening here? But the ending really ties everything together and you are pleasantly surprised. I promise, just stay with it at the beginning. And then next up, Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. No, I thought this was really cheesy. I just did not understand the whole fictional book town. Kind of came out of nowhere with like no background behind it. So no, I just thought that was really cheesy. Kate Quinn's The Briar Club. I'm gonna say yes on this. I do feel like at times it was a little dull, but the way this ends, wow, there's like a big twist in the end, and it was just, I don't know, for historical fiction, I really did enjoy it. So yes, just a little slow at times. And then Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Oh my gosh, I forgot who wrote this for a second there. I don't think the series is worth it, but yes, this #1 in the series, I do feel like is worth it. This can be read as a standalone, but the rest of the series, I would say no, but I love this one. Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. Yes, such a fun ride. Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. Yes, cute summer read, definitely worth it. First Time Caller by B.K. Borson. No, I do not understand the hype behind this. I felt like nothing happened. There could have been so much more to the plot. So no, I was really disappointed in that one. Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. Wow, another like really fast-paced, like fun thriller. The twist is insane. Really great, really good time with this one. I loved it. Did I miss any there? No, where are we at here? Okay, we're getting into the middle of April here. Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. Yes, wow, I thought this was so just like dark and immersive, but still just like you just sink into this book. If you really want an immersive atmospheric book, this was a really good read. Really like dark and moody vibes, but still I loved it. The ending, oh my gosh, insane. Love this one. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. Not her best, but I did like it, yes. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was a fun time, yes. Emily Henry, Book Lovers. Nope, didn't see the hype behind this. And I did not feel like there was a lot of chemistry between these 2 characters. So no. Jojo Moyes, We All Live Here. Unfortunately, no. Carly Fortune's One Golden Summer. This is a tough one for me. I think I'm gonna give this my first maybe. I just thought this was talked about so much. Another very hyped up book that I did not feel like was quite worth the hype. I'm sorry. I felt like Every Summer After was just so good. It was kind of hard to follow that one up. So maybe that's why. Maybe just because I love Every Summer After so much. But Charlie in this book, I felt like he was he was like an egomaniac. I don't know. Something about him I didn't love. So it was okay. Maybe. I know a lot of people love that one. The Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. I'm going to say no. This was my least favorite Kristen Hanna book. It was just very sad. It was all about grieving your parents when they're sick. And maybe just with what I was going through in my life at the time, it was just too hard to read. Again, I've been okay with books that deal with grief, but certain ones just really get to me. I'm reading Frederick Bachman's My Friends right now, and this one's tough. You guys got to let me know down below. Is this book worth the read? I'm like 20% of the way in, and whew, it is heavy. But that's kind of how I felt about Winter Garden. I just felt like it was very heavy, and I felt like the fairy tale retelling aspect of the story was way too long. And I'm not a fantasy girl, so maybe that's why it was too much into the fairy tale that I just couldn't get into. But yeah, I don't think that one's worth the read. Anything else by Kristen Hanna, though? Oh my gosh, I'm a Kristen Hanna stan, but that one just wasn't my favorite. The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapena. Love this one. A really, really like easy, like quick thriller. And then The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. This was also a great mystery. I just loved how all the pieces came together. Yes, I really like this. Allie Hazelwood's Deep End. No. Disappointed in this one. I wanted more of the competitive swimming aspect to this. I originally thought I wouldn't be into this because of the swimming aspect, but I felt like I wanted to know more about the collegiate swimming side of things, and even more about, like, I mean, let's be honest, these two are talking about like their fetishes, and like Allie, that's all you're giving us? Like, I was just very underwhelmed by this. So yeah, no. Karen Slaughter, Pretty Girls. Yes. Oh my gosh. If you are a thriller fan, you have to be okay with some gruesome scenes, but yes. Dark, but yes. And then It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. Yes. If you are a rom-com fan, you will just eat this up. There was funny parts. There was really sweet parts. Really good spice scenes, just all the things. Great story. Blue Sisters by Coco Millars. I really enjoyed this. Kind of like a domestic family drama. They're also dealing with a loss, but I really loved how like each sister, you got the perspective between how each sister dealt with the loss, and I just felt like it was just a good heartwarming story. Really love that one. So yes, I think that's worth the read. That sums up my May read. Deeper into the summer here. Starting off in June, the first book I read, actually at the end of May, was Emily Henry's People We Meet on Vacation. One of my favorite Emily Henrys. I love this. I love how like anxious and sweet Alex is in this. I just loved his personality, so yes. And then Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. Yes, was this a little dry at times? Yes, but I really enjoyed it. I did read most of this through audio, and I really enjoyed the audiobook. And I'm not a really big audio fan, so the fact that this, like, I don't know, the retelling was just so good. So yes, I love this. And then 3 Days in June by Anne Tyler. If you're looking for a quick read in the summer, this was great. It's like super short and a really cute story about a mother-in-law dealing with her daughter's wedding, and just the main character is just so blunt and funny in this. Really good. The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter. No, I do not think this is worth the read. Very immature. It reads very YA. Just wasn't for me. And then Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I think this is one of her most underrated reads. I really enjoyed this. If you're a Dirty Dancing fan, it reminded me a lot of that setting in Dirty Dancing. So yes, I love this one. The Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I'm going to say no on this. I did not love this. I felt like the chemistry was lacking between the two, and I don't know. I was underwhelmed. Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. I'm gonna say maybe on this. I rated this low. I just wanted more from the main conflict in this was a marriage affair, and I felt like it could have been so much juicier. It read a little flat for me. I just wanted more details, and I don't know. So I read a review that somebody said it felt like the Cliff Notes version of the story, and I felt like that could not have been more true. Like, I wanted to know more about the wife's feelings, and I don't know, I just wanted more detail. So I'm gonna say maybe for this one. Credence by Penelope Douglas. Okay, if you're a dark romance fan, then maybe yes. This is very taboo. It's a very taboo relationship in here. There's a familial relationship, but there's no blood relationship. So it almost feels a little incestual. So I kind of had the creepy heebie-jeebies the whole time I was reading this, but was it entertaining? Yes, I'll say maybe. All right, getting into the middle of June, Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Yes, my favorite Emily Henry book. Love this one. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Absolute yes. One of my favorite books of the year. So good. A little bit of historical fiction, a little bit of romance, a little bit of friendship, just all the things. Loved it so much. The God of the Woods. I'm going to say maybe. This was slow at times, but I did really enjoy the mystery aspect of this, how everything came together. It was fun trying to like put the pieces together. I was a little disappointed in the ending, but Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say maybe because it's a long read. It's very time consuming, but yeah, we'll say maybe. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Yes, I love this story. Yes. And then Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. Yes, I love this. Also, a little bit of a historical fiction, a little bit of comedy. So good. The main character in this, Elizabeth, oh my God, she is like chef's kiss. Loved her personality. She was so fun. And then The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. No, this was just, it got weird. No. Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. I'm gonna say no. I thought this was so cringy. I thought the humor was cringy. I thought the whole plot line just, it didn't really make sense. Like the female character was supposed to be the strong character, but yet the whole story was her going to this marriage boot camp only to impress these cheesy like finance bros in her office. Like, no, like what are you doing? You're gonna waste your whole summer just to impress some dudes? Like, no. Didn't enjoy this one. I thought it was too cringy. No. Kristen Hanna's The Great Alone. Yes, absolute yes. This was, oh, it will pull at your heartstrings. Definitely some trigger warnings in here, but it's still just the ending. I mean, she just does endings so well. Just how everything comes together. A tough one to read, but so worth the read. Yes, loved it. Ellen Hildebrand's The Identicals. I think this is one of her underrated books. Cute story about two twins in the summer on Nantucket, I think, was the main island. I think they both lived on one was Martha's Vineyard and one was on Nantucket. And just how their lives collide in certain ways, but then it also was the story of like their sweet relationship. So just really enjoyed this one. Hello Beautiful by Ann Napolitano. Yes, I love this book so much. If you like a domestic drama with heart, you'll love this one. Yes. The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. No. This ending just totally caught me off guard. It was just weird the whole time. Weird. No. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I'm going to say no on this. I don't know why this is their, well, I say their, this is an author duo. I don't know why this is their most popular book. I just felt like, first of all, there was lack of chemistry between these two. It was all about their physical attraction and there was no emotional connection there for me that I felt anyway. And then in the end, I was disappointed by Ethan, the way he responded to this one conflict. I'm just like, I don't know, dude, stick up for your woman. Like, seriously? So, no, I did not enjoy that one, unfortunately. I know a lot of people like that one, but it just wasn't for me. Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. Yes, a definite must-read by her. I felt like it took a little bit to pick up. I will say that, but yes, I enjoyed it. I think I gave this a 4-star. Definitely really loved it. Which I feel like I got a lot of flack for in my ranking video, on my Kristen Hanna ranking video. People feel very strongly about this book, but I just did not think it was her best. Maybe because The Woman was the first book I read by her, I just fell in love with that book, but definitely worth a read, yes, but just not a 5-star read for me. The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. This was a great time. If you loved The Last Mrs. Parrish, you'll love this. If you like a suspenseful marriage domestic drama, so good. All right, so closing out the summer, getting into the September reads. Wild Side by Elsie Silver. This is number 3 in the series. Didn't really love this one. I just felt like the whole plot line was kind of sad and depressing the way it started. There were some lighthearted moments towards the end, but didn't love it. Again, I just did not think this whole series was worth it to me, so I'm going to say maybe on this one. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. All right, if you want a book just for the fall vibes, then read it. I'm going to say maybe on this, but I did not think it was worth the hype. It was just too cheesy. But literally the main character, her saliva, or did she describe his saliva? I think it was his saliva was described as tasting like cinnamon sugar. Like, come on, could we get any cheesier? Like, all the fall vibes, yes, but like the plot was kind of cringy. So I'm going to say maybe on that one. The Good Girl by Mary Kabuka. I love this author. She writes great thrillers. This was a good one about a missing girl. Missing girl stories are tough to read for me sometimes, but I do feel like this was worth it. There's a lot of different point of views in this one, and it was kind of like a fun Clue type story, putting all the pieces together, so I did enjoy that one. Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. I love this. If you like The White Lotus, you'll absolutely love this. Island vibes, a murder, the gossip, all the things. So good, really juicy. Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Also a maybe for me. I think I gave this a 3-star. I wanted more of the romance aspect. It was very heavily tennis focused, which I know is the plot line, but it was just too much tennis for me. So I'm gonna say maybe. And then Sandwich by Catherine Newman. This was a fun surprise for me. I love the humor in this, and yes, was some of it a little dark? Yes, but I felt like it was appropriate for the times, and yeah, I liked it. So yeah, it was a good summer read. All right, closing out September with The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff. Love this debut novel by this author. Oh my gosh, was this good. It was definitely heart-wrenching, tough to read at times, but another great domestic drama. You really fall in love with the characters in this one. I cannot wait to read more from her. Love this book so much. Where are you? All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. Sorry to say, but no, I felt like this drug on too much and it just got kind of slow for me, so I did not think it was worth the read. And then Lucy Foley's The Guest List. Love Lucy Foley, but I felt like I wish there was just more point of view from the women in this story. It's very heavily focused on the groomsmen in this book. There's a murder, there's a wedding. I wanted more from the gals in this book. And you hear a lot from all the shenanigans from the groomsmen. And I don't know, maybe because I'm a women's fiction kind of a reader, I just wanted more from the woman's point of view. But it was good. It was okay. Not my favorite from Lucy Foley, though. I love The Midnight Feast from her. I think I read that last year. Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary. If you're a science fan, yes. I'm going to say maybe on this one. I gave this a low rating only for the entertainment value. I gave this 2 stars because, whoo, did this drag on for me, and I could not get into it. There was way too much science, but and I'm a nurse. I'm a science fan, but it was just too much for me. Way too much. I have a full review on my TikTok if you're curious about my full feelings on this book. But yeah, just too sciencey. I don't know. I'm excited for the movie. I will watch the movie, but just wasn't for me. And then Fredrik Backman's Anxious People. This was so good. The way he pulls his characters together at the beginning, you don't really know where it's going, but stick with it. It all comes together, and I love the way this ended. So yes, so good. Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. I need to read more from this author. She writes so well. This book really grabs you. Every chapter, I just could not stop reading. Very fast-paced plot, just a fun story. Yeah, if you like thrillers, I think you would really like that one. All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. Okay, the pace of this story reminds me of God of the Woods. It's a little slow, a dark mystery, but if you like that kind of like slow unfolding mystery, I think you'll really enjoy this. I actually really did like this, and I think I gave this a 5-star. Just the way the ending was insane. I have chills thinking about the ending. Very short chapters in here, so while the size looks daunting, I'm telling you, you get through this pretty quick, and I think this is worth a read. Beautiful writing. You talk about an immersive writer. Oh my gosh, he really sets the scene. The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. No. I can't, any story where they're falling in love with a ghost, I just can't connect to that. It feels doom and gloom the entire book. Just, no, I did not love this one. I know a lot of people did. Yes, there's some cute moments, but no, I just felt a severe sense of anxiety the whole time I was reading that story. And then The Hunting Wives by Meg Cobb. Wow. Okay, first of all, if you saw the show, I would say definitely read the book first. The book is always better, as everybody always says, but in this case, definitely true. I mean, something about the way everything unfolds in this book, the twist. The Inmate by Frida McFadden. This surprised me. I thought this is one of her pretty good books. Yeah, I liked it. Typical popcorn thriller by her, kind of like a palate cleanser, but I definitely enjoyed it. I would say yes. The Paper Palace by Miranda, where'd that come from? Miranda Calley Heller. Yes, oh my gosh, I love this. Why do I see this at every thrift store and I would walk past it? I don't know what I was thinking. This was such a good story. There's so much depth to this story. You fall in love with the characters, you fall in love with the family, with the romantic relationship, just all the things. I love this story. Definitely some tough parts. Read the trigger warnings, but really good read. Riley Sager is The Only One Left. Oh my God, was this good. Okay, if you like Colleen Hoover's Verity, I think you'll love this. Yes, so good. And then closing out October, this is an older book. I Who Have Ever Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. This was written, I believe, in the 90s. This was an amazing story. It's a dystopian novel about just a survival story of a group of women. It is pretty insane, and it's scary how applicable it is to today's society. But it's a great story. I just loved it so much. And then Lucy Foley's The Paris Apartment. I love the atmosphere in this book. Dark, moody. It was perfect for fall. Yes, love this one. All right, Sally Hepworth's Darling Girls. I said I thought this author was very underrated, and I do think she is. The other two stories I read by her I loved, but this one, maybe it was just the storyline for me. It's about a bunch of foster kids, and for me, I feel like kids dealing with trauma is always hard for me to read, so it was a little tough to read at times. So I gave this a 3-star. I do think it's worth the read if you are. It's kind of I would say more of like a mystery story. So if you're into mysteries, I think you'll like this. It was just a little dark. And then Kristen Hanna's The Night Road. Love this. This is one of her lesser known books. I don't know what took me so long to read this, but I loved it so much. I'm so glad I read it. I think it's such an important story. If you have kids, even if you don't have kids, it's an important book to read for everybody. I can't say really a lot without giving anything away. There's a lot of grief in this book. It's a sad book, but an inspirational book at that. Loved it. Really loved it. I know a lot of people say this read YA at times. There is a lot of story about teenagers in this, but at the same time, I felt like it was very mature though, at the same time. I love this story. Love Like Farms by B.K. Borson. No. I was so bored. No. Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. Yes, everybody was talking about this book this year, and I can see why. You'll fall in love with this family. I love their interactions. I love the relationships. The love relationship in this was so sweet. I loved Sam. I just loved all the characters in this book. So worth the read. And then The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. I finished this up at the end of November, and wow, did I love this book. I gave this 5 stars. This is definitely worth the read. If you're into historical fiction, women's fiction, you'll absolutely love this. You'll fall in love with the main character, and it was just so interesting. And to find out this is based on a real midwife in history was just so cool. I just loved it. It was such a good, interesting read. And the beginning of December, I finished Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. This was a great thriller. Really fast paced. It kept my attention. Really did love it. I was actually reading this while my mom was on hospice. I would come home at night, and it was what put me to sleep at night. It really took my mind off of everything that was going on. And I appreciate that. And it actually brought me closer to her because she loved her Dateline. She loved crime mysteries, and she was a reader too, and she loved her thrillers. So I just thought of her when I read this book. But yeah, great book. I would definitely say this was worth the read. And then finishing out December, it's December 16th, so I'm sure I'll have other books to add to this list, but I'll probably do a December wrap up on my TikTok. In the middle of December, I finished Matt Haig's The Midnight Library. This was so good. I would definitely say yes. I feel like a lot of people didn't like this, but I loved the messages in this story. This was such an inspirational book. The messaging was just so great in here. I love the storyline. So basically, what I took away from this book, to not live your life in regret and to not just sit around and be stagnant. I love how the author compares how every move you make in life is like a game of chess, and if your pieces just stay stagnant, the game's not going to go anywhere. Nothing's going to change. There was a mention too about how in chess there's a million different ways the game could go depending on how the pieces fall. That is what's so amazing about life. You could just make one little change in your day-to-day, and it could change the trajectory of your life in just the best way and the worst way. But at the same time, if you don't make that move, your life is just going to stay stagnant, and you just have to take that chance. But also to not regret those chances that you take, even if they don't go the way you're expecting the outcome to be. I just loved it so much. Whew, all right, I'm exhausted. Thank you guys for listening. I feel better though. It was good to get back on here to put a little bit of makeup on, although I'm still don't mind my pajamas today, but I feel like I'm just like talking with friends when I'm on here with you guys. And I love this. I love chatting about books. It's like my favorite hobby ever, besides my kids and my family. But yeah, I needed this. So thank you. And so much love to you guys, especially during this holiday season. If you're going through a tough time, I see you. I feel what you're going through, and just take one day at a time. It's really hard, but you're not alone. So yeah. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for all your kind words. Yeah, thanks guys. I'll be back. If not on here, on TikTok. I will definitely try to be more present, but yeah, I'm just gonna take one day at a time, as I said. So, all right, I'm rambling, but I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys, love you guys.